Curious to hear your thoughts on the fight and Joshua's place in the sport.
Joshua's not the same. He's Humpty Dumpty that did get broken into a million pieces, but he did get put back together. And to his credit, he came back together. And please, the fans over there, feel what you feel, but I'm not knocking him at all. I'm really not. I'm giving him credit. He came back after being devastated in that first fight with Ruiz, and he gave up. He spit the bid. I think the big difference with him now and then is he wants to be great again. He wants to be better again. At that moment, that sliver in time, we live in moments, Ken. At that moment when Saturn lined up with Venus and Jupiter and all the other stuff with the planets and the life of Joshua and whatever it was at that moment, he didn't care about being the greatest fighter, the greatest heavyweight at that moment in the first fight with Ruiz. For whatever reason, I'm not going to attempt to explore the reasons. I'm just giving you what was apparent from his action, his behavior when he allowed the referee to stop the fight, when the referee asked him if he wanted to continue. So I don't think there's any debating that. But now he cares. That's the biggest difference. He cares about being that guy again. But there are remnants of that. There are addicts in our mind is the addict. And there are ghosts that are still floating around in that attic of Joshua, those ghosts of the first Ruiz fight. And they floated back and forth. They're not gone. He's done a hell of a job of closing the windows. He has a hell of a job. But, ghosts can get in between the cracks. And they're still in there. He's lucky he had, and again, I'm here to point out the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, hopefully, from my viewpoint, and everything that goes with it, comfortable or not comfortable. And he's lucky he had Pulev. Pulev's not that much. Pulev is 39 years old. He showed a good chin when he wanted to, and heart. But he's got no instincts at all. He doesn't react well to punches coming at him. It looks like he's had no teaching. I mean, he stands straight up. I mean, everything he threw a straight right and landed. He threw a left hook and landed. He threw a jab. If he stretched it out and actually he being Joshua snapped it instead of pushing it, which showed some of his tentativeness early. When he was pushing it, then he started snapping it. And when he snapped it, he couldn't miss Mr. Pulev. Pulev's like robotic. Like I said, there's no instinctual mannerisms to him. And he took some shots when he wanted to, but he was also gone in that early part when he turned his back. The referee, nobody would argue if he stopped the fight right there.
100%. You can't just turn your back and cower with your hands over your head. That looked like something you would see in Rough and Rowdy on Barstool Sports. Honestly, I was shocked. I've never seen, very rarely do you see top-level professionals turn their back and put their hands over their head like, please leave me alone. What'd you think?
He was lost. He didn't know what to do. He offered very, very little resistance. When he threw punches that were punches you could navigate through pretty easily. You could see coming. But even with all that, you could still see the tentativeness in Joshua. You could still see it. You could sense it. You could feel it all night long. Um, where he hasn't gotten that full confidence back, where he's not all there yet, where he's not sure if he's all there. He's not. He wants to be there. That's the key. But he's not sure that he's all there. That he could trust himself. He could trust his chin. He could trust the things that he trusted before this all, before he fell off the wall like Humpty Dumpty. Right now, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna hold the brakes. I'm gonna jump right now. Fury, I think, destroys him right now. Okay, a lot of people ain't gonna like to hear that. I get it, but I'm looking at the whole enchilada here, guys. I'm not just looking at when he looked good. I'm looking at the engine. I'm looking at the carburetor. You know, I'm not just looking at the brakes and the accelerator and you know, and those parts of it. I'm looking. I'm looking right in the gizzards, which is here, and he ain't there yet. And Fury would sense that, I believe, and put it on him. And if he did put him on him, those moments where he looked frail again, even with Pulev, where he grabbed and when he wasn't sure and when he was tentative waiting in front, he would get tested in those moments. I don't know if he's ready for that test yet. My inclination is he's not. Maybe one more fight, maybe. But right now, the edge is Fury. And what he did show me was he's improved. Fury, Joshua, off of the second Ruiz fight where he was trying to be Muhammad Ali and just move all over the place and look very fragile in the moments when Ruiz at 283 pounds even threatened like he was going to do something. He looked like, oh my God, am I going to be okay? And he was better. He was much better than that guy. Matter of fact, he made another transition towards being better. He settled down again. He became more that guy was set to punch again. He wasn't, on his wheels all night, on his tricycle all night. He settled down. So he's becoming more of that guy again. And he wants to be more of that guy again. It takes time, if it ever happens, to come all the way back. There were moments when he wasn't throwing with bad intentions. He was almost pulling his punches. Yeah, there were moments. And that told me what I needed to know.